Hello there, my friends. Welcome back to SoulTree Meditation. If you are new here, welcome. You can join me regularly for content regarding meditation, energy, manifestation, and the expansion of your consciousness. So today I am diving into the topic of entertaining the best possible outcome during your manifestation practice. So this is a really big concept to consider whenever you are really diving deep into a manifestation practice. Entertaining the best possible outcome is something that most of us have a very difficult time doing, simply because we are all programmed to do the exact opposite, okay? So entertaining the best possible outcome means that it will be natural for you to kind of milk or often discuss the best possible outcome in every single situation. Okay, so when you're trying to manifest something and your reality is telling you that you have the opposite, it's going to be natural for you in your mind to constantly say, no, this is going to work out the best way possible. I know that I'm going to get this money. I know that this and this is going to happen. I know that this is going to work out for my best benefit. Everything is always working out for me. And constantly getting used to telling those storylines is really key when it comes to manifesting in your reality. Because when you're able to do that, you're going to be at the place where you're going to understand that you are the creator. This is what really stepping into your creator shoes looks like, genuinely. And for most of us, we simply are not there yet because of the programming from society that we have runs very deep. So if you look at any sort of conversation that most people have regularly, they're not entertaining the best possible outcome. Usually it's a discussion about what is, and that is always what we are very focused on, right? The constant looking out to the 3D reality and saying, oh my God, this is how it is. This is what's going on. But as most of us know, if we have studied manifestation for a while, this is an unconscious way of being, okay? Because we are falling unconscious to the fact that we are actually creating our reality every nanosecond. So we want to learn to entertain the best possible outcome. This takes practice. To really harness this in your reality takes an incredible amount of awareness and self-perception, because you're going to want to really get a handle on the thoughts that you're thinking and the stories that you're repeating to yourself or to others. So what I see mostly with the people in my reality and the clients that I work with, and I've noticed this with myself in the past, is that you are constantly telling yourself a story of lack or limitation, and this is mostly because of programming or because of the way that you grew up or because of too much association with the 3D reality, okay? I'm going to use health as an example in this video because this is something that I really see often that is very detrimental when it comes to creating in your reality. If you're a person that is subscribing to any narrative that discusses any kind of disease or labeled disorder, and you are someone that is constantly telling a story of this is happening to me, or you are claiming that that thing belongs to you, then you are unconscious to your ability to create your reality, okay? Simply put as that, because anybody who is consciously creating in their reality, and I'm talking about people who are genuinely interested in manifestation. I'm talking to the master manifestors, the light workers, the people who are conscious of the higher reality, the people who really understand how to create in their own hologram would never ever entertain or claim a narrative that is limiting. Okay, I have learned this the hard way personally with my health a long time ago in the past. I used to be a person who was sick often, and this was sort of just a narrative, like a program that I picked up from my family and from the external reality that I was raised in, okay? I thought it was normal to always go to the doctor. I thought it was normal to, always get a cold, always be sick. I always had a sinus infection, something like that, okay? Until I started to wake up and see what I was programmed with and see the narratives that I was allowing and that I was entertaining in my reality, okay? There may also be other reasons why people are doing this that sit very unconscious, and this comes up in hypnotherapy a lot. The reasons why people would claim to a disease or claim to some sort of limiting narrative also has a lot to do with the need for validation, okay? So unconsciously, a person might be creating an illness or a limitation or really harnessing the narrative of illness or limitation because they are looking for validation from other people, because they are finding that it serves them some way in their reality, okay? Sometimes it is literally a niche, as we are seeing right now with the C word, Ovid, okay? It is honestly, whenever I see anybody posting about this, it is almost looked upon as like something to be proud of, okay? It is advertised everywhere. It is in style at the moment in some areas of life, okay? And this is not to downplay anybody's experience, but I really want to be honest about this. I really want to just kind of cut to the core of actually manifesting in your reality. You're going to have to learn to be sovereign in your vibration. And what that means is that no narrative external to you, no one's opinion, no one's imposed way of being, or any sort of story of what your reality should look, feel like, attribute to is going to affect you, because you understand that you are God. You understand that you're a creator. So you're going to say, no, I don't get sick. I am always healthy. I always have money in my bank account. My relationships are easy and fulfilling, okay? And if you are not able to entertain those best possible outcomes, it is because a part of you is taken by a narrative, or it is still sitting programmed unconscious somewhere within your subconscious mind, somewhere within your psyche, okay? And again, this is not to invalidate anybody's experience. This is not to be, rude, but it is, I'm speaking from personal experience. It is even still hard for me at times to entertain the best possible outcome. Sometimes that programming will come in, that trauma from childhood, that programming will intervene and say, no, this and this and this is what's happening, and this is detrimental to me. And so in those moments, it really takes a reality check for myself to kind of say, okay, no, that's not the story that we want to be creating, okay? Step away from the story, step away from the programming that I'm continuing to fall into, that I'm continuing to repeat, and start telling a new story. And that's where affirmations really come into play. That's where, imaginal acts really come into play. That's where entertaining the best possible outcome is going to be a really good route for you to stick to manifesting what it is that you want, because your reality changes every nanosecond, right? So just because something looks one way, it's reflected to you one way in the physical 3D, doesn't mean that that's actually the way that it is. It doesn't mean that it's truth, okay? It's reflecting to you what it is that you are carrying internally. So it's very easy for you to change that reality, but you have to start entertaining the best possible outcome. You have to start telling yourself a new story. You have to start attaching yourself to realities that you have never attached yourself to before. You have to start defining yourself in a way that is empowering, that is not limiting in any sort of way. And for those that are just beginning with this is going to feel uncomfortable at first, because it almost feels like you're lying to yourself, because that's not what the 3D is telling you. That's not what the reality is telling you at the moment. However, if you truly understand manifestation, you understand that it's very easy to shift yourself into the reality that you actually want to be experiencing. But sometimes it requires working through those limiting beliefs, looking at where you're defining yourself in these negative ways that are not serving you, and these negative limiting ways that are holding you back, right? So whenever you talk about something, whenever you put something out there, whenever you define yourself as having some sort of experience or some sort of way, you want to ask yourself, is this something I want to create more of? Because inevitably your attention can only expand. It is law. It is metaphysical law. Whatever you put your mind to, whatever you put your attention to is going to expand in your reality. So if you're a person that says, oh my God, I got sick, or I got this, or this happened to me, your reality is going to be like, yes, you did. And it's going to give you more of that experience. If you're a person that says, I never get sick, that doesn't happen to me, and you don't claim any sort of disease, you don't claim any sort of limitation to yourself, then you're going to see that expanded in your reality, okay? I understand that this is challenging. I understand that choosing the best possible outcome is challenging, okay? But this is the reality of manifestation. This is what this actually looks like. Okay. It's really interesting to kind of see the, narrative going around right now. I see a lot of people talking about manifestation, and it's really become this huge niche. But to be quite honest with you, most people that I see are not actually putting into practice what they are discussing. Because if you will watch them, if you will kind of study what they were talking about, there is some sort of limiting belief in what they are saying, or they're repeating something that is limiting in their reality. If you understand that you are truly God, you're not going to entertain a reality that's limiting. And if you are, it's because you are programmed. It's coming from your subconscious mind. It's a program from your subconscious mind. Okay? And I claim this to myself. I preach on this because this has happened to me, and this still happens to me sometimes. And it's really important to catch yourself. Whenever you have these stories, if you're harping on a story that's limiting, you have to look back at that and say, oh no, actually that's not what I want to create. And plaster over that a thought, a belief, a feeling that you want instead. Because you want to steer yourself more towards the best possible outcome. And get used to describing yourself in that way. Get used to describing your reality in that way. What would it look like if everything worked out for me? What would it look like if everything just worked out the best way that it could? What would it look like if I did have the best possible health? What would it look like if my relationships were amazing and fulfilling? What would it look like if I had a booming business, or I, got that raise or promotion, or I was finally able to experience whatever kind of life it is, whatever kind of life that you're wanting to create? You have to learn to entertain that as a liable possibility, as something that is in your reach, okay? And this is where I see a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot with these limiting stories, these limiting mindsets, and then the program just runs, and we just harp on how this person's sick, that person's sick, this isn't working out. Oh my God, nobody gets this amount of money. Who can afford that? Who can, it's constant. It's these constant stories that are really being bombarded to society right now, especially, okay, of all of these invisible ooga boogas that are everywhere, all of these things that are looking to really attach to that root chakra and pull your vibration down, okay? So it takes a very strong mind. It takes a very sovereign person right now to not fall into the trap of the constant limiting stories that are everywhere. But I challenge you to do this. I challenge you to always expect the best possible outcome. See if you can challenge yourself to milk that storyline, milk the storyline of things always working out for me. This is for sure going to go the way I want it to. This is for sure going to work out. See if you can constantly do that for yourself, and you are going to notice results. You're going to notice things changing in your reality to match those thoughts and those feelings and those stories, because it is law. It has no other choice to. Okay. And also there is a element of bravery required to doing this, because when you start actually doing that, when you start telling the story you want to tell and going up against the limiting narratives that everybody else is attached to, you're going to notice a lot of change in your environment. You're going to notice that a lot of people become extremely uncomfortable with this because they're stuck in their programming, okay? So again, it does take a really brave and sovereign soul to be able to kind of push through all that stuff, but I dare you, I challenge you to just constantly entertain the best possible outcome in your mind, in your heart, and in the words that you speak to yourself and others, and you're going to see miraculous changes in your reality, okay? Nothing is truly too big for you to create for yourself, all right? So that's what I have for you today. I really hope that that resonated with you. I really hope that that made some sense. If you're looking for a coaching to dive deeper into your own personal reality, you can feel free to book in with me. All of the information to do so is in the description box down below, okay? I do have email coaching, I do have one-on-one Zoom coaching, and I have manifestation courses as well. So there are options for all different kind of price points, okay? Or you can feel free to watch the other manifestation talks videos that I have in my playlist as well if you're looking for some free guidance. But yeah, this is where I leave you. So thank you so much for joining me again on the channel. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if any of this resonates with you, okay? And I will see you again in the next video. Much love.